The pen felt heavier than it should have, like it knew what it meant, cold marble under my hands. Harsh lights above, the judge's patience thinning by the second. Proceed, he said. I signed. Across the room, my late husband's children groaned. Polished, already hungry, failed to hide their smiles. Their lawyer leaned back, relaxed. Already dividing up the estate, the company, the future. They thought grief had emptied me out. They thought giving in meant I had lost. Then their lawyer stood to read the final addendum and suddenly went pale. I watched the color drain from his face and felt steady, exact, finished. After my husband died, the house turned into a museum of other people's expectations, flowers I didn't choose, sympathy I didn't ask for. His children, his blood and not mine, arrived like auditors. They didn't wait a week. We want the estate, the eldest said calmly. The business too. Dad would have wanted it that way. My lawyer begged me to fight. He laid out strategies like weapons, trust disputes, breach claims. Years of lawsuits meant to exhaust everyone involved. I closed the folder. Give it all to them, I said. He stared at me like grief had finally broken me. Everyone did. No one knew I had already finished the war. I met my husband while he was rebuilding his life. Widowed once, betrayed by partners. He liked that I didn't pry, that I listened. I learned his business the way some people learn prayer, quietly, patiently, every single day. He trusted me because I never reached for power. I never pushed. I never took credit. When his children visited, I played the role they expected, warm, distant, temporary. They mistook my silence for ignorance. The betrayal didn't arrive loudly. It crept in. Meetings moved without me. Signatures scanned instead of signed. Vendors answering to someone new. Then I found the email my husband never saw, sent months before he died, full of plans that assumed he wouldn't be there, like a weather report predicting his absence. I didn't cry. I logged it. Grief can make you loud, or it can make you precise. I chose precision. I stopped arguing and started counting. I mapped the business the way a surgeon maps veins, shell companies where loyalty disappeared, loans signed on trust, clauses no one bothered to read because everyone assumed the patriarch would live forever. That's when I found the lever. My husband had planned for storms, he just never expected them to come from inside his own house. Buried deep in the bylaws was a contingency, written after his first betrayal. A successor plan that didn't reward blood, it rewarded stability, skill, proof. I didn't need to fight them for the estate, I needed to let them take it, so I did. I gave them the house, the land, the name on the door, and I kept what they never understood. I activated the protocol quietly. No press, no drama. I appointed an interim board that owed me nothing but honesty. I moved control to a holding company with a strong backbone and a long memory. I exercised an option my husband had written for the spouse who survives the noise. They never read past the headline. Back in the courtroom, their lawyer's voice shook as he reached the final page. Subject to the continuity clause, he read, swallowing hard. Operational authority transfers upon execution to. He stopped, the room leaned in. The acting successor, he finished, effective. Immediately, he looked up at me. The judge followed his eyes. And who is the acting successor? I stood, not to celebrate. To finish it, I said. The children erupted. Words crashed into each other. Objections flew and collapsed just as fast. Their lawyer flipped pages like a drowning man grasping at water. Everything was their dates, signatures, witnesses. My husband's handwriting, steady and certain. The judge didn't hesitate. Gavel down, done. In that moment, they learned the difference between owning something and controlling it. They had the shell. I had the engine. By the time they walked out of the courthouse, the banks had frozen their accounts for review. Vendors were already taking new instructions. Employees had already met me not as a widow, but as a successor. Who knew their names? That night, the eldest called. His voice had finally dropped the mask. You planned this, yes, I said. While you were counting, I didn't destroy them. I let them expose themselves. The company stabilized. The noise died down. The house was sold. The name on the door changed. I left my husband's office light on for one last night, then turned it off and went home. People ask if I regret not fighting louder, if I wish I'd taken more. I took exactly what mattered. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't beg a judge. I didn't answer blood with blood. I signed the papers. I let them smile. And when their lawyer went pale, I felt something close to mercy for myself. Because the cleanest revenge isn't punishment, it's replacement. I didn't fight for the past, I stepped into the future.